And this is how we're going to kick off the stream, ladies and gentlemen. We've got another quote we're going to talk about coming straight from the ball and gun commander himself. Although some people say he's not a general, he's not a commander in the ball and gun army. Yo, shout out to OG with the gifted subs. Sheesh, shout out to OG Shaba, gifted memberships on YouTube. Appreciate you. That was, oh, y'all going crazy, man. Starting off the new year right. Now, some people argue that Shroud is not a commander. He's not an admiral. He's not a general, not even a colonel in the ball and gun army, because some people say he's not a ball and gun gamer. He strictly only plays gun games. And I'm here to let everybody know, you don't have to play ball and gun games to be a ball and gun gamer. He is a primarily gun gamer. From my understanding, he plays a few other things, but he's primarily known for first-person shooters. That's the thing that he's known for, and playing other shooting games. If you only play ball games, you're still a ball and gun gamer. It's really a mindset. It's an attitude. It's the dismissive attitude about gaming culture as a whole, feeling the need to comment on things that you don't participate in, such as the Game Awards. That's what about. You gotta understand, it's not just about what you play. The ball and gun is it's a mindset. It's a virus, okay? So if you guys don't want to consider Shroud a ball and gun commander, general, admiral, he said he's a sergeant. We could call him a ball and gun sergeant. He's definitely in the army. Maybe a ball and gun captain. For those unaware, captain is, I believe, the lowest leader you can be. I think it goes captain, colonel, general, something like that. Maybe we can call him Lance Corporal. we got another terrible take from him, but before we get into it, a ball and gun private. Shout out to my ball and gun privates out there. A ball and gun private would be somebody who just got their first console ever, and they just bought 2K and Call of Duty with it. Like somebody who got PS5 for Christmas, and they got a copy of Black Ops 7 and NBA 2K26, and it's their very first console. That's a ball and gun private. Like saving ball and gun private. That's a show we need to do a movie. But anyways, yeah, Sergeant Shroud. He's got another hot take, but friendly reminder, I have no personal issue with you. I have no personal issues with this man. I'm just responding to what he's saying. We're attacking the argument, not the person. It's all jokes. We're talking about fucking video games. I'm talking, you'll know when I got problems with an actual person. But according to this tweet that was going viral today, he said this game is definitely bigger than Fortnite. Let's not read the tweet. Let's hear what he has to actually say on this stream when it comes to Arc Raiders.
This game is definitely the biggest game since Fortnite, for sure. The only other game I could think of along the way would be like maybe like Valorant and like Apex. But I think this game's bigger than both those games, and will be bigger as time goes on.
So correction, he said this is the biggest game since Fortnite. I don't know if I agree with that. Off the top of my head, one game I know that was definitely bigger than Arc Raiders. What was that game during COVID every streamer was playing, including y'all? I think it was free to play. The one where you had to find a killer. What was that goofy ass game? I didn't play that shit. I wasn't into it. Among Us. Yeah, Among Us was bigger than Arc Raiders. Like, and then also, what was the game where you played the little fucking chiclets, the pills? What was that? And you had to do like the mini games. What was that shit? I did play that one. I can't remember it. Sonic just had a Fall Guys. Fall Guys was huge. We've definitely had some big moments. Now, if you want to argue, are they going to stay as long as Arc Raiders? That's a different conversation, which I feel could become more debatable. But off the top of my head, I know Fall Guys and Among Us were definitely bigger. I will say, and what I will give to him is it's managed to sustain a lot of his success. I still don't know how far. I believe here I found this article. I forgot to save this one. I'll give him this much. I saw this article right here. Arc Raiders has kept 91% of its player base. Battlefield 6 has lost 85%. First of all, I don't know why you have to put this stat in here because this is misleading, and I'm going to get on that in a second. But Arc Raiders keeping 91% of its player base is impressive. I'm going to give it a W. It is impressive. Keep in mind, this game has been out for what, like a month, and it's kept over 90% of its players since they bought the game. That is impressive. Because only a week after Sparking Zero came out, they lost 90% of their player base. That game fucking sucks. And I'm gonna remind you guys it fucking sucks because you questioned my intelligence when it came to playing that game. Said, TBH, you're not intelligent enough to do a combo in Sparking Zero. Nigga, I play Street Fighter, Tekken, Soul Calibur. You play a fighter, a mainstream fighter, I'm more than likely, you talking about, I got square, B. Now that game dead as hell, dead as hell. The fuck up, you fucking dweebs. Niggas get excited about 100 different Gokus. We know who you gonna play Goku. Anyways, that's beside the point. So I'm gonna give it its clout. I'm still not convinced because we're only a month out. Let's see how Arc Raiders is doing I will change my answer 6 months from now if Arc Raiders is still going crazy like this. Because my argument is I don't know if people are going to be playing this a year from now. Even games like Among Us and Fall Guys, those games were cultural moments and people aren't really playing those either. It's just kind of the nature of the beast. It doesn't mean the game is necessarily bad. It's just, I think this day and age, we have a lot of charcuterie gamers, a lot of FOMO, people who just want to try things, people who want to be part of the moment and they want to get left out. And then you have this era of gamer who are trying to make it in the content space. And, you know, people are hopping on the latest trend. So unfortunately, because I mean, Marvel Rivals, how can I forget about that? Marvel Rivals was fucking huge. Marvel Rivals at its peak was just as big, if not bigger than Arc Raiders. And even Marvel Rivals had to taper off after like a year. It happens, bro. Come on, bro. You're comparing it to some mini clip games. What does it have to do with anything, though? You can't do that. If anything, I'd argue you should give Among Us even more clout because it's a mini clip game and it was a cultural moment. Let's talk about it. You just disrespected and shaded it because it had a cutesy art style, and despite it being a mini clip game, it still did great. I'd argue it had things working against it because it doesn't have cool, realistic graphics like this. Because unfortunately, there are gamers like you who will look at a game like Silksong and say, "Oh, this shit is for fucking Newgrounds and this shit is trash." Instead of just saying, "Is the game good or not?" So no, I don't think that's fair. Among Us was probably more popular than your favorite game, LO, and you ain't gotta like it, but it is the truth. It is the freaking truth. But yeah, I'm willing to change my answer on Arc Raiders 6 months to a year from now. If this shit is still in the zeitgeist, it's still maintaining a crazy, insane player count. But I don't know, seeing is believing for me, because when it comes to these live service games, they're a dime a dozen, and it's very rare that one sticks. I mean, we have another one coming out next month with High Guard or whatever that shit is. Now, will that one be successful? I don't know, because it seems like everybody wants that game to fail. But live service games are coming out every month, it seems like. So it's stiff competition. We will see. Now, going back to this right here, what it was talking about, I don't feel like this is necessary. And I just feel like, I'm not going to lie. The Arc Raiders community, you guys got to stop trying to like shit on everything just because your game is doing good. First, you did it with Expedition 33, and now they're also doing it with Battlefield 6. You guys don't have to shit on something else to uplift your game. Just talk about what makes your game great, because I feel like that's a little weird. And speaking on this number, when he said Battlefield 6 has lost 86% of its player base, if you just read this headline, you will think Battlefield 6 is dead, and that's a disingenuous argument. I'm on Battlefield every night. We never have trouble finding games, guys. You have to keep in mind, it's 85%. From when I last checked, Battlefield is the best-selling game of 2025. It sold 10 million copies to date. It might be 11 or 12 now. We don't know. But we're going to say 10 for the sake of the argument. It has sold 10 million copies to date. It's the best-selling game of the year. And it's lost 85%. So if you do the math, that means there's like 1.5 million people playing every day still. It has a healthy community. Naturally, games are gonna fall off because people buy into the hype or whatever. Compared to like, what was it, Sparking Zero, which only sold like 1 million, I think, like in the first month or something like that, and 90% of the people quit the game. That game's dead because it had a significantly smaller pool. So sometimes numbers do lie, and you got to look at it and look at the player pool. The game is far from fucking dead. Wouldn't be surprised if it does stick around strong 6 months from now if they keep updating it. Does anybody know the sales for Arc Raiders? Arc Raiders sales. Numbers lie without context. They do. So this was from a month ago. Oh, it's close to Battlefield. No, that is impressive. 90%, and they've sold probably 8 million copies now, because this was in November. They definitely probably sold at least 8, maybe even 8.5. So that is impressive that it's maintained 90% of it. Kudos to you, man. I'm not mad at that. But is this is bigger? Going back to the original argument, though, this is the biggest game since Fortnite? I don't agree with that. I think the better answer for him is I think this is the biggest game that he's enjoyed maybe since Fortnite, especially for content creation. But this is not the biggest game since Fortnite. And it'll be bigger as time goes on. That's debatable. Seeing is believing for me. I could end up being wrong. I'll give it its clout if it does. But seeing is believing for me. I don't know if this one has the legs like that, because I stand on the fact this is like the Last of Us kind of gameplay. Currently Battlefield 16 players right now is 60K. That's not including EA play and console. Well, yeah, so yeah, we don't know. If that article is correct, then that would be the number between console, PC, and EA play, which would be console and PC. It should be around 1 million, 1.5 million players are still playing. If that 85% fell off is the correct number. He's just seeing the best in the project he can think of that he wants. Yeah, but I feel like he hops out. He has a bad habit of like hopping out and giving these definitive takes. And I feel like he's not on a good track record, to the point where I'm like, is he trolling? Like, I feel like he knows whenever he gives like a definitive opinion, it goes viral. I'm going to talk about it. You see Jake's going to talk about it. People are going to talk about it. And I'm kind of leaning towards that, because to say that if Wukong doesn't win Game of the Year, the Game Awards is rigged, was a terrible take. Anybody who plays games knew that Black Myth Wukong was not going to win Game of the Year. And if you thought that, that was probably because that was one of the only games you played that year. That shit ran like dog shit, and it was not the best game on the fucking market. Its genre's too niche for it. And yeah, and that's why I said seeing is believing for me for Arc Raiders. It's not that the live service market is competitive, super competitive. It's also due to the fact that what it has going against it compared to other games is that it is not a looter shooter, but a extraction shooter. The moment you announce your game is an extraction shooter, you kind of put yourself in a box. It's a very niche thing. Unless this game somehow makes it break into the mainstream, it's just a very hardcore niche genre that I think the average 9-to-5 person doesn't want to deal with. This game is a lot of fun until you get robbed. And then you get robbed a couple more times and you're like, I'm doing all this looting and shit. I'm tired of losing fights and then losing everything versus somebody being able to hop on Call of Duty, Battlefield, even Fortnite, and you get to keep all your stuff. So that, I think that has it. And to be fair to Arc Raiders, I think that's every extraction shooter. That's why I think Escape from Tarkov is super niche as well. I think they streamlined a few things to make it a little bit more appealing to the casual audience, but it doesn't take away from the fact that it is an extraction shooter. And I think that's always going to work against it when it comes to even more casual audiences. The one take where he said people should be ashamed if they're not good at online games. He said that. I'm not going to be ashamed because I'm not good at an online game. I don't really care that much. That's kind of why I don't tap into Souls likes. I hate losing all my runes after a long day of work. I feel that. At least you can go back and retrieve them though. In this shit, you can't retrieve them. Once you get to the boss fight, it doesn't matter. Like, fuck the runes, we run in the fade. Tarkov is super niche. If you get it, you get it. Type. There's only so much you can do with an extract. That too. Like, how do you keep the gameplay loop interesting? The part is I can't even get to the part where I get mad when I lose my loot. I run into the issue where there's too many items and I have to force myself to use them all. We'll see. I'm gonna give it 6 months. This isn't the worst take he's ever had. I think we just gotta dial it back. This is not as big as Fortnite. I'm gonna be honest. I don't even like Fortnite, and I'm not even gonna hate on that shit. Fortnite is still one of the biggest brands at this point. Fortnite's not even a game. Fortnite is a platform. You play games, you build games, you test games. They have concerts, they have events with storylines. They got the Martin Luther King event. They're teaching civil rights and shit like that. So I don't agree with that, but it is what it is, man. You got to dedicate your life for Tarkov, and guess what? We're not doing that. Arc Raiders wasn't even in the top selling games by dollars this year. Well, that's an example, to be fair to Arc Raiders, that's an example of how numbers sometimes lie without context. The reason why it wasn't one of the best selling games in terms of dollars is because of how much it costs. Yeah, it sold 7 million copies, but I believe the game is $40, right? Or $30. Arc Raiders price. It's 40. Yeah, so to be fair to it, it's $40. You got to keep in mind, if a game sold 10 million copies and it was $70, it's going to make way more money than a game that sold 7 million copies and it was only $40. So like, I feel like the amount of dollars that it generates is kind of irrelevant to the popularity of the game. I feel like that's just kind of like a talking point like they use on Twitter to try to dunk on somebody. Now, I don't think that's fair to Arc Raiders. It's because the game costs less, so it has to move more units in order to make more money. But it's still a very successful game. How much did it cost to make that? I don't know. That I don't know. Let's see. Arc Raiders. Cost. I wonder if we can find that information online. Arc Raiders budget in context of its, is this true? Arc Raiders budget in context of its $100 million first week. What's the fucking number? That's how much it made, is 100 million. Launch price for the platform. I don't see nothing about what it cost to make. These captions on the noties is crazy. Yeah, you'll be all right. I don't see a number. I don't know. I feel like it's probably too early. They're not gonna tell, but I don't see a number for this shit. Damn, 100 M's. Yeah, this shit made 100 M's in the first week. They're fine, guys. They're gonna shout out to Arc Raiders. Them niggas get money. They're getting money. But anyways, that's my take on that. In Doomer news, Nvidia is about to make it impossible to become a PC gamer. Nvidia is pushing RTX 5090 prices to $5,000 in 2026, rumors claim. Keep in mind, the 5090 is not a new GPU. It is the latest, but in 2026, it will be old by then. And they're jacking up the price another 2 racks. The ongoing impact of artificial intelligence growth could be felt even more acutely by PC gamers in 2026, according to a new rumor. It has been claimed that next year, Nvidia will increase the prices of the RTX 5090 GPU as much as $5,000 for a single unit. It has been suggested that price increases will start rolling out from January. Oh my God, tomorrow. No, not even tomorrow. It's 8 o'clock. Like in 4 hours, nigga. Nvidia isn't alone in the pricing boom. In a recent report from a South Korean outlet, it was claimed that sources close to the technology have stressed that AMD will also be boosting price tags on the higher tier GPUs. That's right, console gamers. Before you participate in the console wars and get your jokes off, this is going to affect everybody, because I read several articles that said AMD is also considering it. Usually consoles do contracts with AMD. Nvidia is usually a PC thing, but contracts usually go to AMD when it comes to consoles. So there is a high probability, and we just read an article about the PS6 is probably going to get delayed. There is a high probability that the PlayStation 6 could cost $1,000 or more, or more. This is going to fuck everybody up. Now, why did this happen? TBH, what the fuck? Imagine being a PS4 nigga. You finally got a job. I bullied you into getting a job. You've been watching my stream for 3 years. Me just shitting on these PS4 niggas who are fucking port beggars. Who feel like their game can run on the, any game can run on the TI-83, AKA the PS4. You finally got up off your ass. You applied to go to Wendy's. You got a job. You saved up money. And, you know, kudos to you. It's not about where you start, it's about where you finish. I ain't knocking anybody's hustle, right? Now you're wondering, is you finally almost have enough money to build that PC or get that PS5 or get that Xbox Series. Why are they doing this? Yeah, port beggars. That's why I don't like PS4 niggas. They're port beggars. Got Marvel Rivals running on the PS4 at 13 frames per second. Ain't no textures in that bitch. Close your eyes. You're playing the PS4 version of Marvel Rivals. Same shit, nigga. Every time a game come out, whether it's at the Game Awards, Summer Games Fest, back when we had E3, whatever other show, when the game gets announced, like the new Chinese game that looks like Avatar, is it coming to PS4? Is it coming to? No, you're a fucking port beggar. Stop, bruh. God damn. But anyways, why is it like this? I've been warning you guys for the past year. The current incoming administration was about to fuck shit up for a lot of different reasons. We could take this in several different angles. I mean, we could talk about how your president, because he's not mine, there's a 99% chance he's a pedophile. We could talk about how they're doing crypto schemes. I don't know if you guys know, but your president has generated, in the last 11 months since he took office, your president, not mine, has generated $3 billion. The president of the United States, the guy that's supposed to be serving you, making your life better, I don't even know how this shit is legal, has generated $3 billion off of crypto schemes and selling merchandise and shit like that. He is using the White House lawn and pimping it out to make money for him and his family. They're buying up fucking media companies, including gaming and movie and television. But that's beside the point. The reason this shit is going on is due, he said your. The reason this shit is going on is due to AI. NVIDIA has made it very clear that they want to get their foot in the stronghold of AI while it's still early, which means they're going to be taking their assets, their GPUs, and they're going to stop selling them to you and I. They're going to stop selling them to companies who make pre-built PCs, and they're going to keep them in-house, and they're going to focus on building data centers. Now, why do they keep doing this? It all goes back to politics. Your president has a stance on not regulating AI, and this affects us in a lot of different ways. On a lighthearted note, it affects the gaming and the tech space. On a more serious note, because they're building so many AI data centers, they're poisoning the air and they're using up all the drinking water to try to keep all these computers cool. Because when you have Grok and ChatGPT and all these other things, and people are not using it as a tool to enhance what's already there, but instead using ChatGPT as a tool to ask themselves, hey, ChatGPT, am I hungry? ChatGPT, am I tired? ChatGPT, my girl says she hate me. What should I do? Because you niggas ask that shit questions every 5 seconds and refuse to critically think, them computers that are running these AI are burning the fuck up, and they gotta throw water buckets on that bitch all the time. Now we're all dehydrated. Yeah, now they're using Grok to fucking declothe women and shit. It's getting fucking weird. It's getting fucking weird. So because NVIDIA wants to get in on this technology, they're trying to create Ultron or whatever the fuck they're trying to develop. They're creeping the products to themselves, which is going to drive up the price, because it doesn't mean that they're going to, there was another article that said that I think they're going to keep like 40% of the units. That means there's going to be 40% less units on the market, which means there's going to create scarcity, which is going to drive up the price. And you want to know that what the sad part is? It's going to drive up the price and make things more expensive for you and I, but they're going to make a shit ton of money because they're investing in AI and they're trying to get these government contracts, which is going to give them billions of dollars. But also keep in mind, because they are keeping some units on the market and they're marking up the price like fucking 2,000, 100,000%. They're double dipping. They're going to make even more money. I need you guys to understand this. This country is being fucked over by like 5 people. And the worst part is, it's niggas that make $40,000 a year on their knees, sucking that dick, bruh. So yeah, I'm absolutely going to get on my soapbox. This is one of those times, I'm not going to rag too hard on it, but I got a lot of shit talking about this stuff last year. It's not that deep. I don't want to think about this shit, bro. No. I bet you want to think about it now. It's only gonna get worse. But the midterms are next year. I'm not telling you what to do. I'm just letting you know. The midterms for Congress are next year. You could do something about it. We could stop it. I know you motherfuckers never cared about nothing. I hope y'all start looking at this shit, because at bare minimum, fuck the computer shit, right? Me personally, I would like some drinking water. I am a little concerned about that. I would like some drinking water. I would like clean air. There's environmental terrorism going on. They're putting, because I don't know if y'all know, most of my audience is black and brown. They're putting these AI data centers in your neighborhood. I don't know if y'all know that. Don't get me wrong. They're going to get to the white folks eventually. But first, it starts off by putting these data centers in our neighborhoods, and they're going to pollute the air. Yeah, you're going to be breathing in microplastics and dust and shit. Now you got lung cancer for ChatGPT. I'm sorry to break it to y'all. ChatGPT is not that important. It's not that fucking important, bro. You said us. So hey, like I said, I'm not here to sway anybody's opinion or tell you what to do with your life. But what I do know, before I get off my fucking high horse, what I do know from looking at my demographics, the average viewer in my chat is between 21 and 34. Now, what I'm about to say, if it don't apply, let it fly. But if my demographics are correct, the average viewer is between 21 and 34. That means you niggas are a little too old to be acting this childish. It's time to, I know. It's hard to accept 2016 was a long time ago. And I know this is hard to hear because a lot of your favorite streamers are also mentally underdeveloped. That's a whole nother conversation. So you're not hearing, it comes across like I'm crazy because you're not gonna hear this in a lot of other different streams because they have Peter Pan complex. I'm just asking, maybe put some thought into life. That's all. Arrested Development. Niggas got to start acting their age, bruh. We got excited for that Steam machine. I'm going to be honest. There's no reason to be excited about that Steam machine right now. The way they presented it, it seemed like it was going to be a good value. But because of this shit, as well as the RAM, the cut down on the production of RAM and SSDs, is going to drive the price up of it. We are slowly inching towards. Ethos has been bringing this up on the podcast, and I think he's correct. We are slowly inching towards owning nothing. We went from owning movies and video games on disc, and that slowly got taken away via streaming. And it could be a thing where we don't own hardware either. We're just gonna have to rent it because can't nobody afford nothing, bro. So that's my heed my warning moment. Shout out to everyone working overnight. We are eventually going to be playing everything on a cloud server. And I'm going to be honest, I'm cool with the cloud server being an option for people who want it, but I like to own shit, man. I don't want to be on the cloud server. Y'all, please listen to this man. As someone from Memphis, our children's respiratory issues have been shot up here. I have friends that are pediatric nurses. It's starting in Memphis. They going to expand that shit, bruh. They're gonna expand that shit because the thing about these dudes that are running these servers, they all want to one up each other. It's an ego thing. So it's gonna start with servers in Memphis. Then they could come to. I think I saw a video on my For You page. I believe they're building an AI data center in DC, like right outside the city. Yeah, it was DC because it was some brothers talking about it. They were concerned. I think they're building it like right outside Southeast. And if you're not from DC, that's a black neighborhood. So they're gonna expand into other cities. It's gonna come to Philly. It's gonna come to New York. It's gonna fuck everybody up, bruh. Damn, I'm from South. Look into that shit, bruh. I didn't even know that because I'm not from there. I don't know how I ended up on DC TikTok, but they was talking about that shit. Look it up. They're building an AI data center in the DMV. They're building one in PG County. They got Hella and Nova already. See? Dog, speaking of crazy shit, did you see the vaccination numbers? I seen the measles is back, unfortunately, bruh. So at bare minimum, despite all the things, because I said a lot of things, man. Despite all the things that I said, at bare minimum, be aware of what's going on in the world. If you are interested in PC gaming or even console gaming, in 2026, that shit is about to get real ugly. I've seen a lot of people say, I'm really happy that I upgraded my shit. I'm glad I upgraded my shit last year too. Because unfortunately, I feel like a lot of people are going to get priced out. You said measles. Yeah, measles is back, unfortunately. Be aware. Be aware. Apparently they're building one in South Haven, Mississippi. Mississippi's a prime target, bro. Unfortunately. You know, that's enough of the doomsday shit. We don't get too heavy over here. I just sprinkle it in. On a more positive note, I got some good news from one of the most annoying communities in the gaming space, the Bloodborne community. Apparently, Bloodborne's emulator is up and running, and apparently it runs great because according to this tweet, I literally cannot overstate just how well this emulator runs Bloodborne at this point. I got to beat the entire game at 1440p, 144 FPS with little to no issues. Even my buddy on a 1080, an RTX 1080 is an old graphics card, was able to run it at 60 FPS. Remember, emulation is always justifiable against Sony. And in this case, I completely agree. Sony doesn't want to re-release a remake or a remaster. They don't want to drop a sequel. The game is stuck on the PS4, and nigga, we ain't going back. So apparently it's running allegedly really well. If you are looking for a Bloodborne remake or remaster, I'm here to let everybody know it's on PC. PC is the best platform out there if you can afford it. You get the Nintendo games, the Sony games, the Xbox games. It looks like it's running buttery smooth. I'm not gonna lie, after I saw this shit, after I saw this gameplay, because my thing has always been, the reason I believe people when they say Bloodborne's a great game, but every time I see it, that shit is running at 15 frames per second. I'm not playing that. I saw this. I said, January is not a lot of games out. Maybe it might be time to do a Bloodborne run, allegedly. Maybe I'm gonna sit on it and think about it. This is running buttery smooth now. I might have to play it finally. Hold on, I was summoned. It's finally done. I guess so, according to the internet. This shit is dystopian. I'm gonna vote this year for sure. Ding, 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 ding. Is it a pink eye stream? Nah, not a pink eye stream. Bloodborne Online, the future. Here's the video. I'm gonna have to look into how you install this shit. I don't know, or if this is like an early build. Here's the video. I don't think it's actually out. I'm wrong. Because he's saying, but here's the initial test on it. Stay tuned. We have a lot of road coming up. He said, I want to play now. But I'm going to drop this video and everybody wants. I need to look more into this. Whenever this comes out, I'll be more open to trying Bloodborne then. And I'm so glad that I upgraded my PC last year. Hey, and going back to the PC shit. Now that we know that these GPU prices are about to go through the roof, because understand, it's not just going to be the 50 series that goes up. Because they're cutting back 40% of production on GPUs, that means they're going to be less of the new ones, which means more people are going to go after the old ones. But they're also cutting back production as a whole. So the price of not just the 50s are going to go up, but the 40s and the 30s are probably going to, even the 30s maybe are going to go up. Everything is about to go up because there's a scarcity problem. So if you have a PC that you just recently upgraded, please take care of your shit. If you got a PS5 or a PS5 Pro, please take care of your shit. $5,000 GPUs is not it. $1,000 consoles is not it. Stop letting First of all, why do you niggas have roaches in your house? Let's talk about that. And now you got so many roaches, they were able to crawl into your PS4. Clean that shit, nigga. Damn. Shit is crazy, man. Put that PS5. I know y'all like to stand it up. Put that PS5 on the side. We don't need the liquid coolant leaking into that bitch, bro. Clean your electronics. Now is the great time to really start taking care of your shit because you don't want to have any problems. What else I got for y'all? And nobody cares news, but it's a slow day. Fans accuse Battlefield 6 of copying Call of Duty art. In the first-person shooter space, fans of the two titans, Call of Duty and Battlefield, have found themselves up in arms again. This time, it's over accusations that EA has blatantly copied Call of Duty from the days gone by, releasing a new Battlefield skin that is eerily reminiscent of 2013's Call of Duty Ghosts. The latest Battlefield Pro Battle Pass contains a skin with bala that's admittedly walking the line between inspired by and peer replication. Did EA plagiarize Call of Duty Ghosts? It's been in Battlefield 6 space late. You might have noticed the new Battlefield Pro Battle Pass drops that contain, amongst other things, the objectable Ace skin. So this is the thing. So they're saying Battlefield copied what's the name? Call of Duty. It's not the exact same face. It's white paint. Call of Duty wasn't the first to do like some white paint. I'm gonna be honest. This is I don't care. Even if they did, I don't care. You know how I know Black Ops 7 is ass. This shit is so ass. I swear, anytime I open up a Call of Duty stream or one pops up on my For You page on TikTok, them niggas just be in there talking about Battlefield 6 and Arc Raiders. That's how you know Black Ops 7 is ass. Them niggas be playing Black Ops 7 talking about Battlefield 6. They never talk about their game. These niggas are so bored with Black Ops 7 3 weeks out. See, they're copying. This is a go. You guys are having a down year, okay? It happens. Trey Young's having a down year, okay? After he gets traded, maybe he could do better. I don't know. Zion's always having a down year. That nigga's hungry, bro. But that's not the point. They're bored. They're fucking bored. This is not. There's a concept of you need to learn how to fight your battles. This is not a hill worth dying on. You guys, that smoke that you got for Battlefield 6 for the white face paint, you guys need to call up Activision and Microsoft and give them the same level of smoke. Then maybe you guys can get a good game because this is ridiculous. Big Gumbo. Trey Young had an up year. All right, don't do that. The Hawks, he took the Hawks to the Eastern Conference Finals 1 year. Don't do that. Trey Young is a solid player. He's just a defensive liability. And he's having a down year, but don't do that. You must be a Luka fan. Yeah, Zion just down, big gumbo. Shout out to Jonathan with the super chat. He said, should I upgrade my 57 to a 5080? I just built mine over the summer. Nah, you're good with a 57, dog. 5070. Nah, you're fine. Just take care of your shit. Unless you really want to, you got the money, but I'm gonna be honest, you're not gonna see much of a performance difference between a 57 and a 5080. Maybe 5-10% difference. It's not worth the extra money. If shout out to Mojo with the sub, appreciate it. What else I got for y'all? Oh, this came across my For You page, and let me know, does this game look familiar? This is an indie game that came across my For You page. There's a Steam. It's called Shadowrush. Shadowrush. There's a demo on Steam apparently. If you want to follow the For You page, it looked like Titanfall. It's an indie game. I didn't see any pilot gameplay. I only saw Titan gameplay from the page, but there's a demo. You can download it on Steam. I know you got a lot of Titanfall fans in here, so I was like, I'll share it. I don't know if it's good or not, but there's a free demo on Steam if you want to check it out. It's called Shadowrush. It looks like a Roblox game. Well, it's free, so whatever. That's literally a Titanfall 2 mission. Yeah, somebody said, fuck it, I'll make it myself. Hey, put pilots in the game and then we'll be interested. But where's the Minish Cap Mafia at? Where are the Ganon Guzzlers? Where are the Mario Marauders? Come to the front. Splatoon 3 has been rated for the Switch 2 in Europe. That's right, guys. Following a Pikmin 3 Deluxe rating earlier this week, the European Game Information has also rated a Switch 2 version of Splatoon 3. Splatoon 3 first launched on the Switch on September 9th of 2022, and Nintendo has yet to announce plans to release a Switch 2 version of the game. The game has received consistent updates since launch, with the most recent being on September 3rd. This pretty much all but confirms that it is coming to the Switch 2. If you don't know what it having a rating on by the European board means, the PEGI European board is basically Europe's version of the ESRB, which does our ratings over here. You know, E, mature, teen. That's what they do over in Europe. It's the same shit. They submitted Splatoon 3 for the Switch 2 to be rated in Europe. So this pretty much confirms that it's coming to the Switch 2. When? I don't know. But don't be surprised during the next Nintendo Direct or 2 if they announce it. Do I care personally? Not really. I don't like Splatoon at all. I just don't like splooting all over the goddamn place. And also, I don't want to Switch 2 for Splatoon 3. But I mean, maybe somebody out there likes it. All the Luigi caps, all my Luigi caps out there. But you know, slow news day. It could be. It's most likely coming. The Korean and Australian rating boards are the best leakers, low key, because you can't deny it. Like, why are you submitting that? And then for all the freebies out there, the people who want free games, PlayStation Plus free games for January 2026. Need for Speed Unbound. I played this one. This one was pretty good. That's the last one that came out. Epic Mickey, the remake, remaster, and then Core Keeper. I have no clue what that is. Core Keeper is kind of a blend of cozy and survival games that allows players to explore a vast cavern that has hidden treasures and untold secrets. You know, with free games coming out on PlayStation, and most people on console are on PlayStation. I think it's for every 4 PS5s, 1 Xbox is sold. So most of y'all are on PlayStation if you're on console. It's very fascinating to me that ball and gun gamers say that gaming is dead. Gaming is in a great place from a creative standpoint. They're just too greedy when it comes to the microtransactions and some of the pricing. But from a creative standpoint, there's something for everybody. And not only is there something for everybody, you got free games being given out on Epic all the time. You got Steam sales. You had free Xbox games, but you still have free PlayStation Plus games. For people to be like, I got nothing to play. I think some of y'all are legitimately miserable and you don't like the game. Y'all niggas bought a PS5 to watch Netflix and fucking Hulu. This is a good game, bruh. This is a good, and I'm gonna be honest, it's old, but it is a good game. Epic Mickey is an underrated game. If you don't have money, and this is why I said I don't feel bad for none of y'all, and I think y'all are literally just fucking frauds. If you don't have money, this is the best time to ever be a fucking gamer. Microtransaction greed aside, you get free games every month on various different platforms. Epic Games On Amazon Prime gives out like 20 different games every month. You got them humble bundles, the PlayStation Plus. You don't like games. I'm gonna be honest. You don't like games. You niggas beg for them to drop fucking Marvel Rivals on PS4, and they did it. Be begging for everything. At what point are you satisfied? Gaming's the only hobby you gotta beg. Only hobby they gotta be too broke to afford it. Well, it's free now, so I can tell you these two games are good if you need something to play and you're on a tight budget. I just beat last month's free games, Grand Blue Fantasy. That's a great game, bruh. And that's the crazy part too. It's not like they're giving, because I remember when Xbox Games for Gold first came out, they was giving out bullshit. Same thing with PlayStation Plus when it first started, but it's gotten better. They're giving away quality games, bruh. This is like a solid 8.5, bruh. People don't like playing games, 14%. Yeah. And that's the problem. Reddit just sit on fucking Fortnite. I doubt there's anything in the sub box, but let me look real quick. I didn't bother to look. And I went to the wrong account. I remember Mass Effect bundle was free. Shit is crazy.
Charity gets me harder than
Grid
Colossus
Legends
off the
Deluxe
Blue Chews,
Edition.
bub.
UFL official unboxing. Yo, shout out to Aston with the gifted subs.
Charity
Appreciate
gets me
it.
harder
What
than
the hell is
Colossus off
this?
The Blue Chews, bub.
Aston Martin. I had games on my Steam wish list I just took off because I got them for free on Epic. That shit is it's a thing of beauty. Like, and you know what? That's why, like, even though I don't like Fortnite, I don't really slander it too much because I have a theory. Because if you think about it, right? How the fuck does Epic Games give away like 4 free games? And by the way, these be quality games. I got the whole Batman series, all the Arkham games for free on PC off the Epic Games Store. They be giving away quality games. And it's like, you sit there and like, yo, how the fuck do they afford to do that? And I just had an epiphany. Oh no, I forgot my button. My epiphany is the only reason they could give away is because they're subsidizing it with Fortnite. They're making so much money off of Fortnite, they could just give away free games every week on the Epic Games Store, bruh. So shout out to Fortnite subsidizing you broke ass bitch ass PS4 niggas that won't get off Marvel Rivals running at 12 frames per second. Fuck you, nigga. Chivalry 2 is up right now. It's a good game. Chivalry 2. The Goddess of Victory. What the fuck is that? I just tried Wulong because of PlayStation Premium. It's a free game. That's a really good game. The fight, the boss fight against Lu Bu was great. We already saw that joint. Shout out to Cyber with the Shub, War Robots. Yeah, I don't think it's nothing going on, chat. Ain't no events going on, man. What a boring time right now in terms of news. What the hell is UFL? It's a soccer game? Do you watch Comic Explains? Not as much these days. The only comic channel I watch from time to time is Variant Comics. But even still, I find myself watching him less just because most of the videos they upload are summaries of things that I'm already reading, and I personally rather read it myself. Because like once you start reading, you'll realize a lot of those YouTube videos, well, I don't want to be spoiled, but a lot of times those YouTube videos, they're missing context, I think due to copyright issues. So it's better to just read it yourself, especially because it only takes like 5-10 minutes to read a comic book, depending on the size of the book. But yeah, I don't really watch Comic Explains like that. More so Variant. I'll watch Variant when like a movie's about to come out and maybe there's a character I'm not too familiar with. They'll break it down for you. I'll watch them. Yeah, they take bits out of the story. Yeah, so like I'd rather just read it myself. So I found myself watching them less now. I got the Mafia trilogy off Amazon for free. Great games. Is that free to play game that's supposed to? It is. Ain't no gameplay? Oh, it's just this shit already out. This shit must be ass, bro. Ain't nobody even talking about this shit, bro. Hey, man, let's get on the fucking game. Let me see what you talking about, man. Let's go. Let's see if he in a Discord. You playing football? Hell no. Would you cop this? What's this? What would I ever use this for, chat? What would I ever use? First of all, that's dangerous. That's a real knife. You got to move your finger or you're going to fucking stab yourself, bro. Like, what am I going to walk around with a hood around the city and shit, fighting crime? I'm good. I don't need that, bro. I'm not gonna lie. That's some school shooter shit. Like, Bob, please get me Connor's Master Blade for fucking Christmas. For what? So you can go shank up an office or some shit like that? Kid asked me that for Christmas. I'd be like, but you want the replica, right? No, the real one. Nah, you don't need a knife, little nigga. Like, what is this? This is not the UK, bro.